Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Brown with the Moonshine Beekeepers Association out of Franklin County, Virginia. We're coming to you from Windy Gap Apiary here today. And I don't know if you can tell, but I got a swarm right over my shoulder here. So today, the topic of our video is going to be covering a few basic topics. And the topics will include just basic beekeeping skills, honeybees and how they are beneficial, a hive and what it is, the equipment used in the beekeeping operation, the importance of the queen bee, a basic overview of honey collection and the process required with honey collection. So I hope you enjoy our little video we have here for you today, and I'd like to invite you along with us. So some of you might be wondering, just what is a beehive? A beehive, much like your own home, is a place where honeybees call their home. They do all the same functions that we as human beings do in our homes. It's a place that gives them shelter from the elements. It's a climate-controlled atmosphere. They're able to control the temperature inside to a condition that's perfect for them. It's also a location where they eat, tend to their young, raise and rear young. It's a place where they also die. So a beehive can be a multitude of things in this world. For the modern day beekeeper, a beehive is simply a series of wooden boxes. Those wooden boxes are usually comprised of an area called a brood chamber. And you may have multiple brood chambers, like on this particular hive we're running here. It has 2 brood chambers and a honey super on top. And I'll just show you the different components here on the camera. So the yellow portion you see at the bottom is called a bottom board. The next portion you see about 2 inches tall up, it's green in color. That is called a slatted rack. A slatted rack provides a little bit of extra room for the honeybees to be able to help them regulate temperature, whether it be the summertime or the wintertime. Our next box you see here is the brood chamber. This particular hive that is a 10 frame deep brood chamber. It has 10 frames of comb in there, and the comb is where the honeybees raise their young, feed them, store carbohydrates and protein alike, and that would be the carbohydrates would be the honey that they store, and the protein is from pollen from trees. Okay, so our next apparatus in the hive, in a man-made hive here, if you see the brown line below this box here and the upper box, that little brown line that's about an 1/8 inch tall, that is what they call a queen excluder. So the queen, she lays eggs in these bottom 2 boxes here. We have the queen excluder to keep the queen out of the top box, so she cannot lay eggs up there. So this top box is what you call a honey super. The honey super is where the worker bees produce their honey. So as a beekeeper, we don't want to have larvae, or we don't want to have a condition where they can raise young in, so we put the queen excluder on. That keeps brood-free honey up here for the beekeeper, hopefully to be able to harvest. And our final part of the beehive is a telescoping top. This telescoping top, that simply means it's made a little bit larger than the top box, and it can telescope back and forth as there's an entrance on the very top inner cover, which you cannot see on this hive right now. Let's go through a few basic tools with you here. Just a few of the common tools that a beekeeper would need. Now, first off, you have your hive tool. It's good for prying the frames apart and for cleaning off of wax and propolis off the frames by scraping. Here's a set of grippers to pick up frames. It's also got a nice prying tool on the end of it. And your bee brush. and nothing like your smoker being a beekeeper. This is what calms your bees down and gets them interested in things other than you as the beekeeper. Additional safety gear for beekeeping many folks utilize would be a bee suit and or jacket with veil and bee gloves. So honeybees are beneficial to our environment as human beings, as they're responsible for helping pollinate nearly 85% of all food crops that you eat. From apples, almonds, blueberries, cherries, avocados, cucumbers, onions, grapefruit, oranges, and pumpkins. Most all of those would likely not exist if it weren't for the pollination of the honeybee. The queen is the largest bee in the colony. You'll notice the queen roughly the center of the frame with a golden brown abdomen, and she's the longest bee that you see photoed here. She's the most important bee in the colony due to her egg-laying abilities. Though you may think that the queen controls the colony, the worker bees are actually in control and have the ability to replace the queen at any time. The queen's primary task for her entire life is to lay eggs for reproduction to make new bees. Hey gang, you see the queen there. I'm going to try to grab her and mark her. This was a split we had done a while back. She's looking good. Hey guys, there's your queen.
Alright.
Alright guys, so she is in the cage. Hey gang, one indicator of a queenless condition in your colonies. Check this hive out. You notice since I've removed her, listen to them roar. If you've got a queenless hive, a lot of times this will be an indicator. You'll hear the hive will just be roaring. It means the conditions aren't right. Just a telltale sign, and show you here. I got her in the cage. I'll get her all marked up and we'll release her. So I'm just going to get the black portion behind her head in between one of those. She's marked blue for the indicator of the year ending in 0, which is 20. And I'll put her back in her home. So we got our queen marked, so I'm going to release her. I don't want her flying off, and that is a danger when you go to marking queens. They can fly off on you if you're not careful. So what I'll do is I'll pull the plunger out of here. She's walking along the top of that fabric. So I'll pull it out and place it right on top of the frame. And then she's still, I think that's her still walking around on top, but she'll drop down in a moment.